I'm dreaming of a Trump indictment for all the gals he did abuse. And now we have new evidence, folks. That's right. The Department of Justice just released a letter that confirmed what so many of us have long suspected, and then, like a naughty little orange fat kid caught in a lie, it promptly disappeared from the Department of Justice website. Cue the Mission Impossible theme, everybody. We're about to get into some intrigue. Welcome to Occupied Democrats. I'm David Reddish, and a heartfelt thanks to all of you viewers who sent holiday wishes, and especially to all of you who sent them to my grandmother, too. She had no idea our show had such a following and was totally overwhelmed to get so much attention. So many thanks from her. She says happy holidays to all of you, too. Mom was also kind of jealous and volunteered to decorate Christmas cookies in the background as I delivered this segment, but I thought that was maybe too much. Anyway, on to our breaking story. It's all Epstein all the time this holiday season, thanks to the first document dump from the Department of Justice to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Nevertheless, the Department of Justice has earned its share of criticism for not releasing all of the files at once, and for heavily redacting the documents that have gone public. Evidence suggests the documents were also selectively redacted to remove any mention of Donald Trump himself. Last night, new documents also went online. Here's a brief update.
More chaos around the Epstein files. A new batch of tens of thousands of documents that appear to be from the Epstein files briefly were posted on the Justice Department's website yesterday before then disappearing without explanation.
They got this down, Willie. Cold, calculated, ruthlessly efficient. They have thought through this for months.
It's incredible. The material included thousands of additional government documents and emails, as well as several dozen videos from the Bureau of Prisons. The files contain wide-ranging references to President Trump, but mentioned, of course, does not demonstrate criminal wrongdoing. The just being mentioned doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
Yeah.
The Justice Department did not immediately respond to questions about why the documents had been posted and then apparently removed.
Did you see what Bill Clinton's spokesperson did yesterday? It was great. They're like, okay, yeah, all right. You want to show a picture or two randomly? How about a little context? Release everything.
Yeah.
Why don't you release everything? Why are you just it was so clear they were trying to embarrass Bill Clinton. So out of all of the tens of thousands of documents, they release these two or three that'll get everybody talking about Bill Clinton. It's a whole, look over there, look at the bird over there. Don't look at the documents and see what's not in there.
Yeah, this latest dump is a mess, in large part because it disappeared, then reappeared, which, in this context, isn't suspicious at all, is it? And it gets even more upsetting when you consider some of the documents in that dump. Stay with me here. As that clip just mentioned, former President Bill Clinton, who appeared in a number of photographs contained in the first wave of the document release, issued a statement yesterday calling on full transparency and for the full release of all documents related to the Epstein case. Which is what you would expect an innocent person to say, right? Someone with nothing to hide? Maybe Trump could benefit from that approach. Or maybe he's not innocent. Certainly one letter suggests he isn't. It's not a smoking gun per se, but it does smell like gunpowder. Take a look. Among the documents released last night was this letter written by hand from Epstein to Larry Nassar. You'll recall that he served as a team doctor for the United States women's gymnastics team from 1996 to 2014, as well as worked as an obstetrician. He used his position to exploit and sexually assault hundreds of young athletes as part of the largest sexual abuse scandal in sports history. So, just the kind of company you'd expect the worst sex trafficker in history to keep, right? Epstein writes, quote, "As you know by now, I have taken the short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies at the hope that they'd reach their full potential. Our president shares our love of young, nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to, quote, grab snatch, close quote, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair, close quote. Isn't it delightful to see sex offenders bonding in prison?" The letter in question was dated mere days before Epstein's death in prison. It's also important to note that the president referenced in the letter is Donald Trump. He served his first term through 2019 when Epstein passed away. It's important to note that this isn't the first time the letter has been referenced either, though it's the first time it has been made public. The Associated Press reported on the letter in June 2023 after it was referenced in documents released by the Bureau of Prisons under the Freedom of Information Act. So, in other words, it appears to be authentic. It's also worth noting that this letter, along with scores of other documents, disappeared from the Department of Justice website last night, only to reappear earlier this morning, and with different document reference numbers. It's not clear exactly why those reference numbers changed, though the sudden disappearance does suggest somebody is tinkering with the release date. Either way, this incident highlights the shambolic release of the Epstein files. It also incriminates Donald Trump to a new degree, lending credence to the various women who accused him of knowing about Epstein's crimes or of the sexual assaults he's been accused of himself. It goes without saying, but we here at Occupy Democrats will keep you up to date on this story as it continues to develop and on all other news in American politics. I'm David Reddish.